My name is Jerry Stinson. I'm a United Church of Christ minister. I've been asked to just say a couple things about the occupation. I've made 3 trips to Israel, Palestine in recent years. In the ancient city of Bethlehem, I stayed in the home of a family of 3 generations of olive wood carvers. A grandfather, his 3 sons, and all of their children. They all lived in the same house. They hadn't sold any of their olive carvings in over a year because Israel had built a wall around Bethlehem with checkpoints that made it almost impossible for people to get in and kept all the tourists out. I spent another night with another family in Bethlehem, and the mother in that family, her own mother, was sick in the village of Jenin. It used to take her 2.5 hours to drive from Bethlehem to Jenin. Now it's 14 hours through the checkpoints, so she can't go back. In the village of Beilin, I stayed with a family that had a young son, and they were afraid the soldiers were going to come across and take him away. The soldiers had come the previous evening. And so we sat outside, the entire extended family, while a helicopter was just right above our heads watching every move. They didn't come that night, but they came 2 nights later. In the South Hebron Hills, I watched settlers come down from from an outpost, a settlement outpost, and threw stones at the sheep that the villagers had. But that wasn't the worst thing. I saw the cistern where the settlers had come down and thrown a dead animal inside to spoil all of the village's water. And in that same village, which was the center of a whole cluster of little villages where people had lived for like 800 years in cave dwellings, there was one school. And when the children would walk to the school, the settlers would throw stones at them. At the same time, I met some Israelis from a kibbutz in Beersheba who raised money to buy a covered truck to carry the children to that school so they wouldn't be stoned. I met a number of incredible Israelis committed to peace, one of whom said to me, "Why is it that the Americans think they know what's in our best interest? We live here. We know we need to live in peace." And I think we're seeing a real change since the siege of Gaza. I think Americans are now turning around and look at this gathering and look at the ages. No longer do people all look my age at these demonstrations. There's a whole new concern for freedom for the oppressed people of Palestine. We've made a difference. That ship is still out there, sitting outside Huntington Beach. And all those companies with goods on that ship are losing money today. They lost money the last time we were here, and they're going to lose money every time we're going to keep coming back here. So thank you all for coming today. It's been a great victory for freedom and liberation.